Well, crap. Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to another episode of Packcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. This is why we can't have nice things, Grossi. And today we're going to be talking about the breaking news in which the Green Bay Packers are shutting down Za'Darius Smith for a while, putting him on IR, which means that he is not going to be available for at least 3 weeks, and what that means for the Packers, what it's going to look like for their defense, and of course, our upcoming opponents. Before we get to that, I want to do a big shout and thank you to some brand new patrons and YouTube members. First, on the Patreon side of things, we have Bryce Simons. A big shout out and thank you to you. And over on the YouTube, we got Nathan Greedy joining the YouTube membership. So a big shout and thank you to you both. And a little bit of a different shout out. I want to thank Philip from Frankfurt, Germany, for sending me some authentic German beer, which I will definitely be consuming. A big shout out and thank you to you, Philip. So yes, Matt LaFleur met with the Packers media today and informed them that they were going to be shutting Za'Darius Smith down for a while, putting him on IR due to his back injury. Now again, it's not season-ending IR, so he's not out for the entire season. And the justification for putting him on IR was basically saying, listen, we're thinking long-term, considering that Za'Darius Smith missed all but one practice in August. So that was kind of a big thing. He would do warm-ups and stuff like that, and he'd be off with trainers. Even when I was at training camp, he was working with trainers. But yeah, he attended one practice and then was out until last week. And last week, when he played against the Saints, he was on limited snaps, only played 18 snaps, which accounted for 30% of all the defensive snaps. Preston Smith, on the other hand, had 38, and you had Rashawn Gary with 37. So look for both of those guys' numbers to go way, way up. Rashawn Gary and Preston Smith, there's not going to be a lot of rotation going on. They're going to be the primary pass rushers now, which Preston Smith, considering his contract and all of those goals and benchmarks he could hit, and he gets paid more money, he's going to have plenty of motivation to that. And Rashawn Gary, a guy who has all the potential in the world, it'll be really interesting to see how he's going to take this role on. And honestly, this is rough because while we are playing the Lions on Monday, and I'm not as worried, the following week on Sunday Night Football, we are going to be playing the San Francisco 49ers, who have a very good offensive line, and this is our best pass rusher. So losing Z for any amount of time is a problem. However, I understand the logic because you're basically saying, hey, it's either one, we keep him on these limited snaps in which he could re-injure himself, or it's going to take longer for him to heal, or we sideline him for now, at least 3 weeks, and hopefully at some point during the season, he comes back at 100% and he's fully healthy. Now, while Za'Darius Smith is on IR, the Green Bay Packers decided to go and sign somebody else, this guy coming from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers practice squad with a similar first name, Ladarius Hamilton. This is his second year in the NFL. He was an undrafted free agent in 2020. He went to the Cowboys for a hot second, and then the Buccaneers picked him up off waivers. Now, he hasn't had any NFL experience. He has no snaps whatsoever. Played 4 years for North Texas, is 6'3", 260 pounds. In 4 years, he played 43 games, had 67 solo tackles, 28 and a half for a loss, 16 sacks, an interception, and a forced fumble. So the Packers are taking a swing on an edge rusher to see, hey, maybe this one hits. I wouldn't expect him to do a whole lot in the first coming weeks, but his name rhymes with Za'Darius, so maybe that's something. So hopefully Za'Darius Smith will be back at some point this season, and this is not just foreshadowing for him spending the entire season on IR, which would definitely be a big problem. I know there's lots of talks and conspiracy theories and rumors about Za'Darius Smith being very unhappy with his contract, the fact that he wasn't voted in as a captain. So we'll see if that has anything to do with anything. LaFleur is sticking to, this is a back injury issue, but we'll see if anything else develops. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. How do you feel about Rashawn Gary getting some time to shine? And how do you feel about this Ladarius guy? Northern Texas fans, how's your man going to do? Let me know. You can always find me at TomGrossiComedy.com or at TomGrossiComedy at all social media. See down below. Check out podcasts on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, and of course YouTube. And a big shout and thank you to all the patrons over at patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy and the YouTube members. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you for the Q&A tonight. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, Go Pack Go.